said this, everyone who hears these words of mine and does them. That message to me is you need to follow the rules. And so my job as a Christian is to be perfect, is to do everything that Jesus said. I don't know if you know everything Jesus said. That's not very easy to live out everything that Jesus said. Amen? If you don't believe me, I can find at least one teaching of Jesus that's hard. Following him is very hard. And so what happened in my life, and I'm telling you this story because maybe this is how you live too. When I read that verse and I applied it to my life, the only thing I saw was failure. And that failure, according to this verse, it translated into this, that I am building my house on sand. I'm not building my house on a rock. I'm failing. I'm no good. And sometimes in Christianity, we feel that way. We just feel like we can never get it right, and we just beat ourselves up. But see, what happens is that we can't take one verse and beat ourselves up without understanding the entirety. Like if you dig a little bit deeper, it's very important that when you read this verse that you understand that Jesus is not calling you to be perfect. He's not calling anyone to be perfect. We can't be perfect. And in fact, it's really interesting because if you trace Jesus's words in this verse down, it shows you this, that the word does is a present tense verb, right? Because I found myself living most of my Christianity looking at the rear view mirror, at what I did wrong, how I didn't do it right, how I messed up then. And I began to look at myself consistently at what I did. But what I want you to see right now is that Jesus's words are present tense. And so the question isn't what you did, it's what are you doing? Who are you right now? Quit beating yourself up on what you weren't yesterday. Why don't you start living out who you want to be today? And who do you want to be? I hope as a Christian, you want to be the kind of person that's following the teachings of Jesus. So now the question of am I being a good Christian or a bad Christian isn't based on what you did in the roundabout yesterday. Yeah, that's your little, you know who I'm talking to, right? You know what it is? It's how you're choosing to live today. Every day you make a choice. And guess what? You're not going to be perfect, but you can make a choice to say, today in my choices, I'm going to honor Jesus. When I go to work, I'm going to honor Jesus. When I go home to my family, I'm going to honor Jesus. When no one's at the house and I'm there all by myself, I'm going to honor Jesus because I'm choosing to live my life in the present.